So today, who are we having on?
I know, Jack Payne.
Jack Payne. Now, he is a YouTube celebrity.
He is, yeah. It's kind of exciting. It's kind of neat. He reached out to us, right?
Yeah, he did. He reached out to us. You know, he's a young 24-year-old kid. He has some money. He wants to learn how to invest in real estate.
Smart.
Yep.
So I don't know if you guys know, but we have a lot of young folks that are making money in crypto, on Instagram, on YouTube, all these ways that people are making money. They really are, instead of buying all this new stuff, they really are trying to figure out how not to lose it, how to invest it. And they're reaching out to more than people than me. They're reaching out to a lot of different folks.
Yep, very smart. So we're excited to have him on.
I know. I can't wait to hear what he has to say.
Hey, guys.
Good to have you here, man, all the way from South Carolina.
Thanks for having me. I've been watching your podcast for a while. Figured I should get on with you guys.
The lesson is, one, you study together, and two, you study.
Yep.
True.
Right?
Definitely. So, Jack, you were a pro tumbler in high school, and that kind of is what you started your YouTube channel as?
So I started my YouTube channel doing couples content with my girlfriend, and I also do gymnastics challenges and a bunch of acro, extreme flipping. So yeah, I've been doing flips since I was 6 years old all the way till now.
Well, the reason you listen to Ken, you and Afaf, your girlfriend, is because you want to know now that, you're 24, you're starting to make some money, what to do with it, right?
Yeah, I love the education, and there's so many options that you can do, and a lot of people start college and then they end up changing what they want to do, and I figured I want to learn a lot about real estate because maybe it's something I want to do full time when I'm older.
Yeah, it's interesting, Jack. We get a lot of people. It's actually kind of neat, I think, that you're on, because you've got some fame and you've got some money coming in from your channel. And at your age, I probably would have went out and bought a nice car. but a lot of people do that, and the kind of the point is that you want to invest it so that it's still there, because it's hard work what you do. It doesn't always appear that way, but it is. Putting out a YouTube channel, putting out content regularly, getting and growing it the way you have. It takes a lot of work.
We brought you on because you had some questions for Ken, and I really wanted you to ask the questions that you wanted to ask about real estate, because I really think that we have a lot of young people that listen to this channel, or even older people that haven't got started in real estate. And sometimes him and I, because we've kind of been doing it, forget about the questions of right when you start.
Yeah, for sure. If I could jump into a super...
Let's go.
I think it's one of the most important questions. I actually have it written down, but so if you could go back to when you started real estate, what would you do differently?
So, Jack, I got into real estate in property management late in college. So I wrestled in college, and a friend of mine came in and said, "Hey, would you rent this place?" And I was like, "Free rent? Yes." Right? I didn't know how to do it or anything like that. But what I learned was firsthand all the nuances of why people pay rent, how they actually move in, who they are, their credit, their criminal background checks, all those little things. And then on the maintenance and the expense side, so I was like in the middle of it. And then when I actually got the courage to go actually out and buy it, and I didn't have money, so but I did know how to fix properties, and that gave me the confidence right out of the gate to be able to ask other people for money, say, "Hey, I can buy this property. I need your money, and here's what I'm going to do to it," because I had done it. And so I would have probably started in the business at a younger age.
And I have something interesting too. I have 3 properties myself, and I think what I would have done differently, because I got started when I was about 28, I think, and I paid them all off as I went. So I paid them all off as I went, which is great because I don't have any debt. However, if I would have put a standard 20% down, I could have probably 10 properties right now that all would have appreciated versus the 3 I have paid off.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're a successful guy. So what are your top tips and daily habits that got you to where you're at? Because I know a lot of people say, it's hard to build something big overnight, but if you take little steps, what are your little steps that have made you successful?
Sure. Well, a couple. One is, I think that a lot of times I'm probably primarily focused on my health. number one. So like even this morning, got up, meditated, stretched. I take about an hour of every single morning for myself. And so, and then we of course go to the gym and all that kind of stuff. I don't take any appointments till 11 o'clock, period. So I have every morning to myself, and then I block out certain periods of time for like really massive work. So Mondays, I do this stuff. Tuesdays, I work on my companies. And then Wednesdays and Thursdays and Fridays, I kind of do whatever I want. And so, and then during the summers, and when my kids were little, I took off fall break, winter break, summer break, and I was with them and I was present. So now that's all kind of the personal relationship side. On the business side, I'm super focused on exactly what it is we're trying to do as a company. So we have, like, my acquisition guys here, they have very specific criteria of what we're looking for. And so I have an investment committee meeting for 90 days every Tuesday, and we'll review 6 or 8 deals every single week. And and that's how it's kind of evolved. I do not get on email in the morning, because I feel like that sucks your time. I try to stay off of social media. I hardly ever watch my own videos and hardly ever get on social media. I feel like there's a lot of distractions out there, and it's super hard to stay focused. Yeah. And even for a lot of people. And I read a ton. And I'm always trying to change my opinion on things. And what I mean by that is sometimes you can get too biased on something, and it clouds your judgment.
So a lot of people are talking about, oh, there's going to be a crash. There could be a crash. When's there a crash? Is now a good time to buy a house, or does it depend on the market? I mean, what are some key factors in a specific area you can look for to tell?
Yep. So here's the thing, and I get this. My mom still lives in the home that I grew up in. Okay. During that time, you can imagine that thing went up and went down and went up and went down and went up and went down. And, and now it is basically her retirement. You can't time real estate that way. You have to be more like my mom and say, you know what, this is my first one. I'm going to make sure that it cash flows. I'm going to make sure that my renters pay for it, and I'm going to keep it for a long time. And I'm going to maybe refinance from time to time to pull out cash tax-free. But this is an area that I'm not going to flip. I'm not going to try to time markets, because when you do, you pay capital gains, you pay brokerage commissions, and you pay all that kind of stuff. And as you know, Jack, just being able to find property is hard. So the last thing you would ever want is to sell something that is working for you. And that's why we personally don't sell very much.
And that's the thing. If you buy it, let's say it goes down 20%, but the rent's not going to go down 20%. So now you're holding on to that rent, and it's still covering your cost. So who cares if it goes down 20%? You said, oh, I should have waited 2 years. Like, you're never going to time it totally right. It's like gambling. Even if you do get it right one time, you're eventually going to get it wrong. So you just have to really focus on the cash flow. Well, Jack, it was great having you on. Do you feel like you learned something?
Yeah, I mean,